All right, this first video is going to be super short. All it is that in 4.2 we talked about polynomials, and now we're going to switch to polynomial functions, which means we're going to do y as a function of x, which is going to allow us to use that function notation that we learned in chapter 2. So this equation is y equals negative x squared plus 5x minus 11, or f of x is equal to negative x squared plus 5x minus 11. And you remember, the only reason we really use the f of x notation is because it allows us to do things like this. Find f at negative 4. And you're supposed to know that what they want you to do is put in negative 4 everywhere there's an x. So for this one, the negative's out front. The x is being raised to the exponent 2 plus 5 times negative 4 minus 11. So everywhere there was an x, I replaced it with the negative 4, and then I just simplify. So don't do negatives. Multiply, right? Exponent has to come before multiplication. So this would be negative 16. And then 5 times negative 4 is negative 20 minus 11, which would give me, I'm always afraid to do this without a calculator. Yeah, it's like, I want to, but what if I make a silly mistake? So I get negative 47, which means when x is negative 4, y would be negative 47. It could be a point on this polynomial function graph. Now that you've learned polynomial functions, now we can use these polynomial functions to model data. For example, the number of students enrolled in public schools, grades pre-K to 12 in the United States, because our book is so American, during the years 2000 to 2011 can be modeled by the polynomial function defined by. So this is p as a function of x, which is the same as f. In this case, it could be population, right? And it's equal to this big, gross expression where we can put in a value for x, where when x is 0, it's the year 2000. When x is 1, it's the year 2001, and so on. And so we're going to use this function to approximate the number of students in public schools in 2005. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to find the population of the school in 2005. So I'm going to use when x is 5. And all we're doing is we are plugging 5 in anywhere there's an x. And then we're going to use our calculator to solve this. Oops. Good. So into my calculator, I'm going to type in negative 0.02675 times 5 squared plus decimal 4873 times 5 plus 47.26, which gives me 49.02775. Anytime a question gives you an answer like this, give the whole thing unless they tell you what to round to. This question said to round to 2 decimal places. So I'm going to give 49.0. I'm going to round the 2 to a 3 because the next number is a 7. And then I'm going to know that this is the number of students in the millions. So 49.03 million students were enrolled in public schools in 2005.